Hello, children. Good morning. Yeah, we have started this lesson. First part we have completed, right? Uh, Withering the storm of Esamma. So in that you have seen that there was one boy by name Prashant, and he went to his friend's house, and there was a storm, and everybody were there taking rest on the roof, right? And then afterwards, after 3 days he started. Fourth day he started moving when the water was little when flood water was little bit less. Then he found that the bodies were dead bodies and dead bodies of the animals and human beings were there floating around. And then he took one big stick and started moving. And he started moving to go to his village. And on the way, he met his uncle's friend Said, and then all three of them started moving together. And when he went there, he saw that he could see the entire house was filled with water, and where he could see nothing but water. And then he went to a place where they could take rest in the Red Cross shelter, and there he found his grandmother and other relatives. And everybody thought that Prashant was dead. But when they felt very happy after seeing them, now he understood that he had to come out of that desperateness, sadness, and make a move so that he could help the village people. So, what were the steps he had taken to help them? Those that was the part we are going to read. Let us go one paragraph back and see where we have stopped. By the next morning, as he took in the desperate situation in the shelter, he decided to get a grip over himself. So he wanted to come out of that grief and he wanted to be himself, grip over himself. He sensed a deathly grief settling upon the 2,500 strong crowd in the shelter. 86 lives were lost in the village, and all the 96 houses have been washed away. And it was the fourth day at the shelter. So they were living there in the shelter for 4 days. So far, they had survived on green coconuts. Apart that, they did not eat anything. And now they were very hungry. But there were too few to go around such a tumult of people. So now, what were the steps taken by Prashant? Prashant, all of 19 years, decided to step in as a leader of his village if no one else did. So, how old was Prashant? He was just 19 years old. So, he decided to take that leadership. So, he wanted to move forward, okay, if no one else did. So, he organized a group of youth and elders to jointly pursue the merchant once again to part with his reign. So the first thing, what did he do? He went to a merchant and asked him, not alone he took a group of youth, young people, and he went to the merchant and requested him, pressurized him to part, give them some rice, part with his rice. This time, the delegation succeeded and returned triumphantly. That means the merchant gave them rice. So they came very happily, victory, triumphantly, wading through the receding waters with flood for the entire shelter. So the water was a little bit reducing, wading, moving through the receding waters with food for the entire shelter. So now they got the food and the water was a little bit wading away. From that, they came to the place because they found food. No one cared that the rice was already rotting. So the rice was not of good quality because of the rain. It got wet in that water for a few days. So it's not that good, little bit rotting. But even then, nobody cared because they were very hungry. They want to eat something. So branches from the fallen trees were gathered to light a reluctant and slow fire on which to cook the fire for the first time in 4 days. The survivors at the cyclone shelter were able to fill their bellies. So now he took all the branches and which were reluctant to fire, which means they were very wet and they did not dry completely. So they made fire and started cooking on that, and everybody had their food. For the first time in the 4 days, the survivors at that cyclone shelter were able to fill their bellies. They could eat something. Okay. His next task was to organize a team of youth volunteers to clean the shelter of filth, urine, vomit, floating carcasses, and to tend to the wounds and fractures of the many who had been injured. So what happened? Next step. First step, food. Went and requested merchant, brought rice, cooked that, and everybody ate that. Second step. So he wanted to clean the area. So they could not go out, and many people were not feeling well. So the vomits and urines, everywhere there is a lot of dirt is there. So he collected again the youth volunteers to clean up entire shelter. So dead bodies of that, everything. And then after cleaning that, next thing is he wanted to the wounds and fractures were there. The people who survived, because they were floating and coming, and then definitely there will be some injuries. So he wanted to cure all those things. So 4 days over. Now the fifth day. On the fifth day, a military helicopter flew over the shelter and dropped some food parcels. It then did not return. The youth task force gathered empty utensils from the shelter. Then they deputed the children to lie on the sand left by the waters around the shelter with those utensils on their stomachs to communicate to the passing helicopters that they were hungry. The message got through, and after that, the helicopters made regular rounds to the shelter, aid dropping food and other basic needs. So the third thing, what he has done, one day he had found that there was one helicopter moving and it dropped some food. So when it dropped the food, that day it came and dropped, and afterwards it did not come at all. So now Prashant got one idea. What did he do? He asked the young people to sleep on that land which was visible, not water part. So he told them to sleep on that sand with the plates on the stomach, and that was the message for the people, whoever in the helicopter, that they were hungry. Okay, so they got that message, and the people were really very they used to drop the food every day, and they were happy. They could communicate, and they got the enough food, and they were dropping all the other requirements along with the food, whatever they need in that during that time. Okay, now next one. Prashant found that a large number of children had been orphaned. So this is the next step. First step, coming out of from his grief by himself, getting over control over himself. That is the first step what he had done. Second thing, gathered the youngsters and went to a merchant and brought the rice. Second over. Third one, cleaning the entire area. And then wounds. The people who ever were wounded, for them the fractures and wounds, and they keeping medicine and doing that. Next one, an helicopter came there, and then he made all the youngsters to sleep, the young children sleep there with the plates, which was a message for them that there were people who were hungry. So the helicopter came and regularly started dropping food for them. Now the next thing what he wanted to do is, Prashant found that there were large number of children who had been orphaned. That means parents died in that storm. And so he brought them together to put up a polythene sheet shelter for them. So polythene sheet shelter was made for those orphaned people. Women were mobilized to look after them. So he called the women and told them, take care of these young children whose parents died, while the men secured food and materials for the shelter. Men went and they used to bring food and shelter for them, and women used to take care of the young children. So as the weeks passed, Prashant was quick to recognize that the women and children were sinking deeper and deeper in their grief. So as they lost their close relatives, they were feeling so sad. They were sinking deeper and deeper in their grief. They were not able to come out of that grief because the close ones died in that storm. So he persuaded the woman to start working the Food for Work program started by an NGO, and for the children, he organized sports events. So now he told the women to start working uh, in the Food for Work program, which was started by NGO. And then when for children who were also in very sad mood, what did he do? He started making them play some games, organized sports event for them. So he himself loved to play cricket, and so he organized cricket matches for children. Children were asked to play cricket matches. He organized matches for them. Prashant engaged with other volunteers in helping the widows and children to pack up the broken pieces of their lives. So the initial government plan was to set up institutions for orphans and widows. So Prashant engaged with the other volunteers who were willing to work. They were called as volunteers. So with that volunteers, what did he do? In helping the widows and children to pick up the broken pieces and then to their livings. And then in the beginning part, in the initial government plan was to set up the institutions for orphans and widows, separate institutions. However, this step was successfully resisted as it was felt that resisted as it was felt that in such institutions children would grow up without love and widows would suffer from stigma of loneliness. So when this government wanted to organize orphans separate organization institution and for widows separate thing, then Prashant very properly told them, resisted that no, we don't want that, because in that organizations children, orphans especially, they would lead a life without any love, and then women as they lost their, they would be leading their life in stigma. That means the scar and mark that I lost all the people, and so now I'm all alone. What is that? So that is clearly visible there. So he did not want that to happen. So what did Prashant do? Prashant's group believed orphans should be settled in their own community itself. So they are not supposed to go out anywhere. They should be living in that community with them only, possibly in new foster families. So he wanted all these orphans to be brought up in new foster families. Foster families means that's the area where they could give them proper place and there where there were people to take care of them. Okay, so the widows, they will take care of these children whose parents were dead in that storm. So now when these youngsters will be taken care by those widows, and he wanted to set up in that way. So and made up of childless widows and children without any adult care. So that's how he managed when there were widows without any adult care and there were children whose parents were not there. So he made them to be like a family. So that was the best thing what he had done. Did not allow the government to have institutions where the children and widows would be living in a separate thing. And then the last paragraph, it is 6 months after the devastation of a super cyclone. This time, Prashant's wounded spirit has healed simply because he had no time to bother about his own pain. So look at that. So it is 6 months after the devastation of super cyclone. 6 months over. Now all these 6 months, Prashant's wounded spirit had sealed. He could come out of that. That he could not feel the pain. Spirit had healed, came out of that. The wound was healed. How? What did he do? Simply because he had no time to bother about his own pain. My relatives, I lost my parents. This is what happened. So there was no time to worry about his problems. So he was very busy taking care of the problems of others who were there in that village. So that's how he could come out of his grief. So this handsome youthful face is what the widows and orphan children of his village seek out most of their darkest hour of grief. So when they were feeling very, very sad, it was at this young, handsome face they were looking at for some relief, some um, happiness to come out of the grief. It was Prashant who helped them to come out of that grief. Yes, children. The ultimate sentence in this is Prashant could come out of his grief just because he had no time to bother about his own pain. So, when you are so busy in any work, when you decide that you want to do something very great, then definitely you will forget your pain. You will forget all the trauma, whatever you have undergone because of any problem. So that's how Prashant came out of his problem, and that's how he enjoyed the thing. Okay, children, now there are few questions at the end of that. Okay, now I want all of you answer those questions. What havoc had the super cyclone wreaked in the life of the people in Orissa, and how was Prashant, that a teenager? Remember, he was just 19 years old, being able to help the people in his own village. So, what were the steps he had taken, and how have the people of the community helped one another? What role do the women of Kalikuda played during these days? And what do Prashant and other volunteers resist the plan to set up institutions for orphans and widows? Why did Prashant refuse that? And what alternatives do they consider? What did he wanted to do for them? That's it, children. This is that, and I'm going to give you value-based questions and all the other things. Read the lesson and start writing all that. Okay? Thank you, children. Have a nice day.